Top 32 is done at round 1 of Drift Indy Street League here at Kil-Kare Raceway. Our drivers have fought hard to earn their place in competition, and here is a recap of some of the best battles of Top 16. The first battle we're going to check out is between Sam Cornwell and Cameron Stone. Cornwell qualifying first is going to lead in that S13, and Cameron Stone qualifying 17th is going to chase him down in that Miata. Cornwell transitioning up on a mid to high line there on the bank, but doing a nice job of keeping it wide on entry, which is what our judges want to see. He uses the whole track as he transitions into that first outer zone. Stone is sticking with him as Cornwell exits that zone. He's doing a great job on that inner clip there, but Stone right with him, mirroring his line, exactly what we want to see in that chase position. Cornwell picking up speed as he comes to the bank, running that high line, which is what we've seen all day, and Stone is right with him as they transition out of that bank turn and into outer zone number 2. Cornwell is moving and Stone is on his door as they come across the line. A great first battle here. Let's flip him around and see what Stone has for us in the lead position and let Cornwell chase him down. The crowd is loving this first battle of the top 16 here at Drift Indy Street League. And again, we're going to do the second half of this battle, allow Stone to lead and Cornwell to chase him down. Stone in that Miata with a nice flick up into the wall here. He's on a pretty high line and going nice and wide, which is what we want to see, mirroring that lead of Cornwell. Stone maybe getting just a little bit too wide there, and Cornwell is directly on his door as they come through outer zone number 1. Stone is moving across that clip, but he's not getting away from Cornwell in the chase position. Transitioning on his bumper there to come up to that bank turn. Stone nice and high, grabbing that noodle, but Cornwell is right on his door as they transition out of that bank turn. Cornwell transitioning on his bumper for a third time to get close to him. Stone super deep in outer zone number 1, and too deep perhaps. He spins, throwing it all away just inches from the finish line. That is unfortunate, and the win here is gonna go to Cornwell. Your number 1 qualifier is moving on, and let's bid farewell to that bumper on the track. Up next on the line is Chad Anderson and Justin Medina. Anderson entering nice and high, maybe a little bobble there on entry, pouring on the angle as they set themselves up for outer zone number 1. Medina is right with him as Anderson navigates around that inner clip. He's pouring smoke as he comes through the center section, and Medina popping through that smoke as these drivers transition up and onto the bank. Anderson nice and high on a great lead line, allowing Medina to really check up, and he does right on his door as they come around outer zone number 2 and across the line. Wow. What a great chase, especially in the second half of that run by Medina. Of course, Chad Anderson gave him a great line to work with in the lead position, and Medina is stoked on that. We can see him hitting the roof of that S2000. Let's see what he's got for us in the lead position and let Chad Anderson chase him down. Medina with a huge flick up into the wall. This guy's on an incredibly high line. The crowd is definitely stoked on this as he comes down, transitioning to outer zone number 1. Anderson falling back a little bit. Medina looking super smooth in that lead position. Extremely tight on that inner clip. Again, we want him right at the edge of the track there. Medina transitioning all the way up to the wall, taking the high line. We're not surprised. And Chad Anderson just a little bit farther back in the chase position. And as I say that, he gets closer to Medina as both these drivers grab outer zone number 2 and across the line. I would like Medina a little bit deeper in 2, but other than that, that was a pretty darn good lead, and he is stoked on it. And with that, the judges are giving it to Medina. He's going to move on to our top 8. Next on the line, we have Brett Cassidy and Jake Clark. Clark qualifying 4th is going to lead in that Miata, and Cassidy qualifying 20th is going to chase him down in the Infinity. The Miatas have been on a heater today, so let's see if Clark can keep that up. Clark flicking it up into the wall. He's on that high line. Nicely done on that entry there, cutting it maybe a little bit short as he transitions into that infield. Cassidy is with him as Clark comes around outer zone number 1, getting nice and wide. Cassidy almost in front of us as they transition from that outer zone across the inner clip, transitioning through that center section and up onto the wall. Clark getting super high, hitting a noodle on his way by, allows Cassidy to get super close to him in that Infinity in that chase position. Clark coming around outer zone number 2 and across the line looking super smooth, and Cassidy is right on his door at the finish. Let's flip these guys around and see what Cassidy has for us in the lead and what Clark's got in the chase.
cap de fond.
Cassidy in the lead there, picking up speed as he tosses it in, maybe a small bobble and the left foot brake coming in on entry, transitioning down really well done into that infield. Clark is right with him on his door as Cassidy comes through outer zone number 1 and transitions with a ton of angle on that inner clip. That is what the judges are looking for as far as style goes. Cassidy is moving. He's absolutely moving through that bank turn, maybe a little bit lower on the bank than Clark was, but Clark is attacking, putting it on his door as they come through outer zone number 2. Cassidy pouring on the angle. Clark is right with him. Wow, that was an intense battle. And the judges are going to want to see it go again. This will be a one more time. Clark and Cassidy on the line for their one more time battle. Clark is tossing it in there on that high line, sucking up to the wall right as he gets around for entry, maybe slowing up a little bit there, and Cassidy definitely slows in the chase position. Clark is moving as he comes through outer zone number 1, getting nice and deep, transitioning so close that he dips a tire on that inner clip. Cassidy just a little bit farther back. I wonder if that bobble is really costing him on entry there. Clark extremely high on the wall, and Cassidy just not as close as we saw him in that first battle. Clark coming around outer zone number 2, getting super deep, taken out a clipping point as they come across the line. Back on the line. This time Cassidy is gonna lead and Clark's gonna chase him down. Cassidy had a bit of a deficit. He just didn't chase as hard as I thought he could. Entering there on about a mid-line. Clark is right with him as Cassidy tosses it in, coming around to outer zone number 1. Just not quite as deep as he could be there, and Clark is right on his door as they transition across that inner clip. Cassidy throwing his angle around, coming up to that bank turn. Clark is right on his door as they come through the bank. Not quite as high as we'd want to see him there either, and Clark is not here to mess around, jumping up to his door as they come through outer zone number 2. We're losing a bumper in the action as they cross the line. The bumper is a paid actor. Hang on a second, Clark. Make sure you save that bumper. Don't go any further. You need it for the top 8, buddy, because you're moving on. On the line, we have Cash Staub and Colton Terrell. Staub qualifying 3rd will lead, and Terrell qualifying 19th is going to chase him down. Staub tossing it in there nice and high in the wall on that proper line. You can tell why he's your 3rd place qualifier, grabbing just a bit of the dirt as he transitions around through outer zone number 1, taking a clip with him, but Terrell is on his door, transitioning just off his bumper as they pass that inner clip. And through the center section, Terrell's pulling a little bit of angle, but stays with him on his door as they come up into the bank. Staub tossing on the angle there as they come out into outer zone number 3. Terrell's jumping up to his door as they cross the line. What an aggressive battle here. Great job by both of these drivers. Let's flip these guys around and let Terrell lead and Staub chase him down. All of our drivers chilling on the wall. We're stoked on that run. And of course, thank you to our grid workers for resetting that clip that was punted against its will in that first outer zone. And away we go. Terrell this time leading, Staub chasing him down. Terrell bringing the speed, kind of on a mid-line, but he sucks up to the wall, doing a great job getting wide there on entry. Cash Staub is with him as they come around to outer zone number 1. Terrell doing a great job getting just to the edge of that zone, but he is absolutely cooking as he comes across that inner clip and through the center section of the track. Terrell transitioning up to grab that bank turn, and Cash Staub falling back a little bit in the chase position. Terrell is even gaining more speed as he comes out of that bank turn to grab the last outer zone, and Cash Staub finally puts it on his door as they come across the line. And the judges want to see that again, so let's run it back. Cash is in the lead, and Colton Terrell is going to chase him down. Let's see what these drivers have for us this time. Cash Staub entering nice and high, looking super smooth. These are the entries we've been seeing from him all day. Oh no, and unfortunately it looks like Terrell spinning in the chase position. That's gonna be a 0. Let's enjoy the rest of this lead run by Cash Stab, just showing us what he's got there. He's on the proper line, not phased by that transition up to the bank, running the high line, catching the noodle, absolutely cooking as he comes through to grab that second outer zone. Doing a nice job there as he crosses the line, and unfortunately that is going to put him at an advantage, and Terrell is going to be sitting in a deficit. Let's get into the second half of this one more time battle. Colton Terrell tossing it in there nice and high. He's got a point to prove on his lead run here as Cash Stab trying to cut some angle to get close to him in outer zone number 1. Colton Terrell looking super smooth. He's on the right line as he comes through that center section. Cash Stab trying to chase him down. Terrell coming up onto the bank turn, pulling a bunch of speed and a gap on Stab, getting nice and high there, and even more speed as he exits that bank turn. Cash Stab trying to toss it in to get closer, and he does as they go through outer zone number 2 and across the line, but unfortunately that will not be enough, and Cash Stab will move on to the top 8. The final battle we're going to take a look at here in top 16 is Kyle Antonovich and Alex Dayne. Antonovich with a big aggressive entry here, and Dayne doing a nice job in the chase position. Antonovich pouring smoke through outer zone number 1, and Alex Dayne is right with him as they come through that center section. An incredibly aggressive chase by Alex Dayne. Antonovich coming up onto the bank wall. Oh my gosh, he's got a ton of angle, super high. That's exactly what we want to see here. Ton of aggression in the lead. Alex Dayne not letting him get away here as they come through outer zone number 2 and across the line. What an aggressive battle here by both of these drivers. Let's flip them around and see what Alex Dayne has for us in the lead and let Antonovich chase him down. Alex Dayne already causing an upset in the top 32. I think he wants to do it again for top 16. Let's see what he's got for us in the lead. Alex Dayne tossing it in, staying nice and high, pouring the angle on there as he comes into the infield. Dayne coming around to grab outer zone number 1, and Kyle Antonovich looks like he threw a little bit too much angle. He's offline there as he comes through outer zone number 1. Doesn't seem to phase Dayne at all as these two drivers transition through the center section and up onto the bank turn. Alex Dayne picking up speed, and Kyle Antonovich putting on his door there as they transition down from that bank turn into the center section to grab outer zone number 2. Alex Dayne doing a great job in that zone. Kyle Antonovich putting it on his door. Give it up for these drivers, guys. This was an amazing battle. But let's make it official. That aggression has paid off in the lead and the chase. Alex Dayne is moving on to the top 8.